Now, welcome to another News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Okay, 3 stories for you today. First up, Ahsoka star Rosario Dawson and Natasha Louis Bordizzo tease their Star Wars chapter in Ahsoka.
Star Wars chapter?
Well,
The chapter of her life?
yeah, sure.
Oh.
I mean, Ahsoka has popped up in just about every corner of the Star Wars galaxy. I mean, animated Clone Wars, the film and the series, Rebels, The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett. I mean, she voiced cameoed in Rise of Skywalker. I'm surprised we didn't see her in Obi-Wan. Now she's got her own headlining series in 2023. Earlier this summer, Entertainment Weekly sat down at Celebration with Dawson and the newly announced cast member, Natasha Louis Bordizzo, who's playing Sabine in her live-action debut. The two actresses were, a few weeks into filming at the time. And when they were speaking to EW, Dawson opened up about making the jump from Mandalorian guest star to heading in her own show. She says, "What I love is that these little things we've gotten to hint at in these other shows, we get to more deeply explore. I think whether you've seen the previous animations or have only seen these episodes, she's still quite mysterious at this point in her life. That's what I think is the most exciting part of Ahsoka, having her own series here. That you get to better understand her in this part of her journey." I think she's 100% accurate.
Sure. I mean, I think it's more interesting. Well, maybe not more interesting. That's what's going on now. But we don't, ever since Rebels, right? Ever since getting pulled into the world between worlds, she goes back to Malachor. We see her kind of walking into the temple. Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, that's, okay, what has happened in the last 10 years, give or take.
And then she popped up again, and she seems to be on a mission, but we don't know what it is.
It seems to be to find Ezra, right? I mean, she made that promise. I guess the question with her is, okay, she makes the promise to come find Ezra, come find me, and she's like, I will, and then they go their separate ways. And, if you want to get into paradoxes, she can't immediately go back and save Ezra because she's now a couple years in the past, and she could prevent herself.
Exactly.
So you do have this weird potential paradox that could form. So in theory, she could just be trying to lay low because she understands that if I go save Ezra right now, he never saves me. I think we all kind of get
most likely she did do.
Well,
because now that we're seeing her in The Mandalorian,
that's what I'm saying. So
she's resurfaced. It's like literally at the end of Rebels, she finally was like, okay, now I can come out.
Yeah.
Because I won't interfere with the timeline.
Yeah, once
she seemed to understand the importance of it.
Once she somehow, I guess, would hear that Ezra has gone missing, she knows that that's then theoretically after he saves her in Rebels, so she now knows she's beyond that, beyond risking her getting saved. Again, I know it's very confusing.
Yeah, she knows she's like in the clear that she's not going to mess with time by looking for him now because he's already accomplished what he was going to do.
Yes. So, I mean, we still have that mystery, though. There's still several years. I mean, there's a good 7 to 8 years from the time Ezra goes missing to when we see her again in The Mandalorian, or...
Mm-hmm. So we don't know what she was up to.
No, we have no idea.
And we're starting to wonder where she's exactly heading. And we know she still has Morai with her. We don't know exactly if she's changed at all from being in the world between worlds like that. And what she possibly learned in that Sith temple. Where did,
She could have spent years just studying the dark side just to become more familiar. Not, obviously not to become a dark sider herself, but to become more familiar with it and try to understand it. And who knows what she encountered in that temple. What kind of dark,
maybe she even
spirits.
Figured because she was supposed to be gone, she didn't want to interfere with Darth Vader's timeline.
Well, that too. Maybe that's what she waited for. Maybe she somehow... I mean, I don't know how that would work, but...
That she also waited for him to be passed because she knew she couldn't interfere with that story because she wouldn't have been involved.
I mean, you could go down all sorts of crazy paths and assume that...
To the rabbit hole.
Yeah, assume that she spent a couple of years in hiding and all of a sudden the Force ghost of, say, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who she would, be familiar with and who might, if possible, we don't know all the ins and outs of the inner workings of Force Ghost, but he could come to her and be like, you know what, you can't interfere right now because Luke has to do this. I foresaw the future or something, and you have to stay out of this for now.
Well, and if she supposedly originally died at Vader's hands when they fought before Ezra saved her, if she is supposed to have died there, then she is not allowed to interfere with Anakin's.
Sure, I get where I see where you're going.
So maybe she felt her master's passing and realized now she could come out of hiding because she can no longer interfere with his path.
It could be
because she was supposed to have been felled by him. We think
she was, but then Vader would know he didn't. I mean, it's very confusing because you got to put yourself in Vader's shoes for a moment. He's fighting her, and all of a sudden, I mean, I don't know if he sees Ezra's hand literally appear out of nowhere, but do keep in mind Ezra reaches through the portal and pulls her back. So in theory, Vader could be about to kill her, and all of a sudden he sees a hand, and I'm assuming he's not going to recognize Ezra's hand, and he's going to see her pulled through, and he's going to be like, well, what the heck just happened here?
I don't know. That makes its own little time problem. I almost assume that still happened to his perspective.
That he killed her?
Yeah, maybe he does really believe he killed her.
I don't know. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Maybe he doesn't see that hand, and he slashes, and
she disappears.
And then he's fighting Obi-Wan years later, and what happens? He slashes him. He disappears.
Maybe it's just something he knows a Jedi can theoretically do. I mean, Yoda even disappears. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I don't
know. But Jedi haven't been disappearing. That's not how it works. Otherwise, the Clone Wars they'd just be popping off the radar. But that's only when you become a Force ghost, or in Qui-Gon's case, he didn't disappear. He was halfway done with his training and apparently finished it somewhere along the way and manifests fully in Kenobi. So I don't know. Very curious what goes through Vader's mind when all of his friends from the past who become his foes just keep disappearing instead of dying. He's like, God, what's going on? Can't I kill anybody?
All right, let's move on. We're still in this article.
Yep.
After Celebration, it also, of course, we said we introduced the actress playing Sabine, and she sat down with EW as well, and they talked about the audition process for Ahsoka and how it was really mysterious. That she was originally she sent in a self-tape that she was unaware was for a Star Wars project. Eventually, she learned she was auditioning for Sabine, and she said she was shocked by how quickly she was cast. This is her quote. "It was a very, very quick process," she explains. "I was suspicious. I was like, wait, I have the offer for this?" I met Jon Favreau later, and he was basically like, I get it. I'm an actor. I don't want to put you through the ringer, and I don't want to make you do a million takes and auditions and tests. We know you want you, and we want you, and that's it. And she really appreciated that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So both Bordizzo and Dawson were tight-lipped about plot details. They just opened up enough to say that the show has elaborate sets and practical effects, from Ahsoka's detailed head tails to gorgeous galaxy-hopping scenery.
Galaxy hopping.
Yeah,
Not just going to sit on
traveling.
a sand planet for her entire season. Hey, that's my prediction. We're going to the unknown regions or wild space. We're going to go some new places. Please go to some new places. Anyway,
and Dawson added that she and the makeup team have slowly perfected Ahsoka's makeup process, whittling it down from 3 hours to 1.5. Still, she adds she's happy to spend the extra time in the makeup chair if it means getting Ahsoka right. She says, "Every single day you're not dialing it in." What? There's no not dialing it in Star Wars.
Well, I mean, I've seen a few examples. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a few examples of not dialing it in Star Wars, but I know what she means. And I appreciate the sentiment for sure.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on to the next little story I want to talk about. It has been a while since we talked about Star Wars Eclipse. And I just wanted to kind of...
Eclipse, the game that's coming out in 40 years.
The trailer kind of started a hype train that instantly died on the rails.
Yeah, it just went right off a cliff. The old,
So I'm going to kind of go over some details that were from the game's actual website so that we can kind of talk about that a little.
Sure.
So it is set during, of course, the High Republic. Here's some quotes from the website to fill in some info. The game is going to be, of course, a new action-adventure, multiple-character, branching narrative game set in the High Republic era of the iconic Star Wars galaxy. Weave a tapestry of interlaced destinies. See the galaxy through the eyes of an ensemble cast of multiple, charismatic, playable characters, each with their own morality, personality, motivations, and impact upon each other in the story at large. When you think of those first details, it kind of sounds a little bit like KOTOR, where you've got multiple playable characters, they have their own morality. You could, in KOTOR, you can go light side, dark side, you can do quests differently to unlock different things. It sounds like there might be replayability in the game.
I mean, it sounds cool, but it's one thing to say something and it's another to pull it off. I always remember before the game Fable, we were just talking about Fable because you were a huge fan of it. Before the first Fable came out for Xbox, they promised the world, and we got maybe a small section of a world.
Yes.
But so whenever I hear, this is what we want to do, until you actually prove you can do it. I mean, I'm not trying to discredit the game already. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying you always hear them talk really big, but can you actually execute?
All right, carrying on with some website details, they said they're composing an original Star Wars story with all new characters and environments. You have the power to make choices with consequences. thanks to many outcomes in this deeply branching narrative. Shape your fate in the Outer Rim, in an uncharted section of the galaxy with never-before-seen species and planets to discover. This part of the Outer Rim is rife with opportunity and political tension that could alter the fabric of peace. What will you do?
Well, again, it sounds awesome.
It
and
does.
If they pull it off, I'm going to be very impressed.
Branching narratives is always an interest to me because that gives you total replayability on a game because you can make all new choices, get new results, new endings.
I wonder how long of a game it is. Is this like a really long game, or is it just kind of something where you can make, a choose-your-own-adventure book, essentially, where, you play through it once really quick, you get to one ending, you play through it again quick, get a different ending, or what it is, essentially, or what it will be.
All right, so here comes a little piece of your rumor mill. There is mysterious stranger on Twitter by the name of
Mysterious stranger, nice.
ACCNGT was leaking information on Twitter. Here are some of the highlights from their leaks. Action-adventure, based on interactive story, open world, next-gen only, multiplayer elements, competitive.
Ooh. What?
Ambitious and original project, in-house game engine, more playable characters than any other Quantum Dreams game. And one of the inspirations was The Last of Us.
Sounds extremely ambitious. And so, again,
yes.
Pull it off, I'll be impressed, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. I just know it's been a while since we talked about the game, and
it has been a while since that
I want to
first
keep
trailer
motivation
already.
on this game going because Jedi Survivor is going to motivate itself.
Oh,
this game might need a little extra hype.
Well, you never know
moving.
when we get close. I mean, that's the thing. You release the trailer so 2027? I've heard rumors. I mean, so
25 is where I think they're actually aiming around now.
Okay, so I mean, you're years away. It's hard to keep any kind of hype alive for that many years. So, and sometimes when you do, it kind of can backfire. There's been some recent games that have been announced and for years they finally come out and don't live up to those expectations you've been trying to build for a decade.
Absolutely. All right, last but not least, we're going to talk about Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation because a new clip was released and the poster is available online. The official poster, yes, in a brand new minute-long clip from the upcoming Disney Plus special, Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation.
You such enthusiasm in
because the Lego game is the Lego
the Lego
projects
games are goofy,
are fun, and goofy, not known for being canon.
Well, thank God, they're not canon.
And I'm looking forward to watching it, but
they're fun.
Sometimes they're a little too cheesy. Well,
Yes, they're fun, and you can enjoy them, and they're lighthearted, and they have that really kind of cheesy Lego humor, but. It's not for everybody, for sure.
I mean, the synopsis is like, looking for a much-needed break from stormtroopers and TIE fighters, Finn arranges a surprise vacation for his friends, Rey, Poe, Rose, Chewie, BB-8, R2-D2, and C-3PO, aboard the ultra-luxurious galactic star cruiser, the Halcyon.
Shocking.
But Finn's plan to have one last hurrah together quickly goes awry when he's separated from the group. While searching for his friends, he encounters 3 Force ghosts. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, and Leia Organa, who each share their own unexpected stories of vacations gone wrong, helping him to understand that holidays are about more than just having fun.
Spending time with the ones you care about.
Yes. I mean, the Star Cruiser...
I love that there seems to be just one Star Cruiser in the Star Wars galaxy. Just one.
We do know from the clip that Lando now works as an ambassador for the company during the sequel era. He's got a hologram up there welcoming people aboard, and
they are trying to sell this thing.
Oh, so it's weird. And there's so many characters in this. Aside from the sequel bunch, we've got Boba Fett, Snotty Snoodles, Anakin, Poe, Han, Finn, Jabba, Vader, Obi-Wan, Rose, Rey, Lando, Ben Solo, Leia, and more.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm sure we'll review it for fun.
Well, it comes out next week, August 5th.
Oh, geez.
On Disney Plus.
So we'll be reviewing it sooner than expected.
Yes.
All right, well, I guess that's all we got for you this time. So take to the comments below. Tell us what you think of this week's news. Tell us what you think about that Ahsoka series and where she was for all those years. Whatever the case may be, leave your comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.